Monster Brick Reviews.
Here's a look at the Insoon Western Farm Building Set. And it has 1,412 pieces, set number HG1025. And this set is a Western farm. It has a full building structure, your classic iconic red barn with a blue roof, white trim windows and doors. And along the side here, it includes an area for 2 horses, pig pen, some chickens, quite a few other animals. There's a squirrel hidden back here. There is a bird. There is a tree. And along the outer side builds, you get a windmill. This windmill is connected from here down to the bottom. And I believe it's probably a one-way action where you spin this windmill and then this actually turns around at the bottom here. I think you could probably do the opposite too, but it might be more difficult. It comes with a little pickup, which it's okay. It's a little bit strange in its proportions. And then it comes with a tractor that pulls a trailer with some hay bales in the back. Another dog, another pig, wheelbarrow. Over here there is another build, which is a silo with a bird perched on the very top. It has a couple of valves. Not sure what this is, maybe some sort of tank here. And as far as playability, it has a winch that can pick up some produce off the ground, take it to the second floor, and there's a tiny roller coaster track that'll take it to the other side. And this also has a lighting feature. So you can see here it has an example of what it looks like with the lights off and then with the lights on. And we'll take a look at the lighting too in just a second. Here's the back of the box. It shows you that one whole side of the roof can be removed so that you get access to the inside. Of course, the doors open. This opens up so that you can get your produce inside, and you can kind of make out that little rail coaster track. And there's areas to store that produce. The battery box for the lighting is just inside this door, the back door here that looks like a jail door. There's a tiny battery box that sits there, showing you here that the windmill moves. Here's that roller coaster track with a roller coaster car that will move the things back and forth. Here's a close-up look at the winch. Turn that, and then this goes up and down. And then here's all the different animals you get. You get kind of the fancier style horses. This looks like it's ready to be turned into a unicorn horse if you happen to have one of those pieces. All right, so looking at the parts, you've got them individually bagged by number, and they're grouped together. So there's several little bags within each of these. So of course it's obvious here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you've seen some other sets or other reviews that I've done, there's a company called Talkmock that also does this. They put them into these bags. What's different here is that these bags are not resealable. In the Talkmock ones, I've seen that they're resealable, so you could put them back in here if you really wanted to. But these you actually have to tear open, which is a little bit different. One thing these bags always have in common so far is a chalky feel to them. So when you pick them up and you handle them, your hands don't feel great afterwards. They feel chalky, they feel dry. Not a fan of that. I wish they could address that, figure out why that is, and fix it. As far as the parts go, they are going to be compatible with Lego. The colors and the part designs that I'm seeing here do appear to be the same as Lego, so you can add your own Lego pieces to it to expand on it, or you can take these and put them into your collection if you're not a purist. There are some unusual pieces here. I don't know if I've ever seen this before from Lego, and it's nice to have these really big pieces, cylindrical pieces to make up that silo. That's really nice. And there's one of the little birds, seagull. In this bag we have those leafy branchy pieces, and then here's a look at one of the horses. Horses have eyes printed on them. That's one of the horses. The second horse is right here behind the brown horse, and it's also got a printed eye on it. Looking at, let's look at bag 3. You see some of the produce, so carrot, pumpkin, one of the doors. Here's that roller coaster piece. It comes in this silver color. I don't know if Lego has made it in a silver yet. I know they have it in a light gray, but I don't know about this particular silver color. And then the first bag is mostly your landscaping, just building it up from the ground up. Looks like it doesn't have very large base plates. Maybe it's built up like that. One thing that is a little something to note is that because it's only built on one plate all the way around, when you go to pick it up, it might, depending on how you pick it up and how heavy the structure is, it might crumble on you or have some issues. I've seen that happen on other builds like the forest cabin that I reviewed separately. Here's the entire roof, lots and lots of dark blue. That'll look really nice, the dark blue against the red. I think it'll be a good combination. These are the parts for the little pickup truck. Not crazy about that pickup truck. I think it's a little weird, short and stout, but it'll probably be compatible with your existing minifigs. This is one of those sets where it's a BYO minifigure situation. Here's some parts for the tractor and the trailer that it pulls. What's in bag 7? Bag 7 looks like it might be the side area. I'm not 100% sure what this is building. Maybe some of the interior as well. Yeah, some extra additional parts there. Okay, and then the lighting. This is a 2x4 by, looks like 1 and 2 plates high battery box. Looks like it comes with batteries. Usually these are, what are they called? Button cell batteries. On off switch, you pull that little isolator out. This is a light rope, so the entire rope is lit up once you get it going. And we'll show you that in the instructions. So here's the instruction booklet. It's got a matte finish. It's fairly thick. Once you get into it, you'll see right off the bat, that's the first page. It tells you what the bags are and what each of the bags builds. So that's a look at what you can expect from each of those bags. Going into it, there's only a couple steps per, a couple new parts per step. And I like that pacing. I think that's a good amount of pacing, not too many parts and steps per page. When they get too many, they get hard to see and hard to make out. For example, here, these 1x1 plates and studs are getting kind of small. So they get so small that you actually have to refer to the larger version to understand the color and the shape that you're putting in there. So here's where that battery box goes, and they tell you which side to let the rope light hang. And then you build it out as you go. And it's not till this step 89, that you actually wire the lighting. So it's actually goes from the box here, goes up to the roof, strings through, goes along this ledge, and then it strings through here. And I think it might actually make its way all the way around and then up to the second floor. So looks like you're supposed to string it through these 2 crates of produce. Here's where that roller coaster track is. It goes on that second floor to take it from the front of the barn to the back of the barn. And some of the red pieces get built out all the way up to the top. Here's the roof that's getting built. Here's a look at your 2 little horses. And we're on to the silo build. And the valves, more of the silo. It's, of course, hollow on the inside. Built up pretty quickly. Here's the build on the windmill. This part of the windmill is what's attached to the top. And I'm assuming that it rotates. Making it rotate from here might be difficult. And you can see how it's attached. The top of it, you'll see, has these two gears here. So it translates the rotation vertically to horizontally. And then that's how you get the propeller, or sorry, the windmill to be moving. And more instructions for the trailer, the tractor. That's a great lime green for that tractor. I think that's going to be nice. And then your pickup looks like it has enough space for, you know what? I know what I don't like about it. I don't know if there's space for a minifigure. It looks like there's barely enough. It is sunken and there are doors. So it is sunken down. And then, yeah, so there should be enough room, but maybe just barely. All right, and then there's the location of that battery box. Tells you how to turn it on and off. And it's just inside that door, so that's convenient. You open that up, boop, switch it, and it comes on. So it's not a very custom lighting kit. It's sort of a average lighting kit. So what they've done is they're not including any specialty light bricks. For example, they could have put a sconce or two on the outside that lights up. Maybe that could have been interesting, but instead what they've done is they just have one rope that you string throughout, and that just brings it to life on the inside. So the inside has general lighting. They could have also created specialty pieces that are little lanterns that hang on the inside and bring up light, but they didn't do any of that. The absolute cheapest way to do it is what they've done here, which is one light, one string it around, and just light the whole thing from the inside in a general way. All right, so there you go. That's a look at it. And if you're so inclined, please like this video. Please subscribe. That helps me out a lot. All right, thank you very much.